Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Graybeard. My name's Wayne, and to my left over here, my good
Secret
friend Bud.
Squares, baby. What's going on, Wayne? You can see that Elon didn't get everybody out of space. Okay.
I see you still out there in the
Man said it.
galaxy.
He only
Uh,
had room for four. I was the fifth, so
I
hang on,
got
I'll be
the
back.
I got the let's see, the Chevy Cruze as a background. Everybody,
Nice.
that's the
Yeah.
wife's ride. She loves that thing, man. It's got the little diesel. And it gets close to 60 miles per gallon. If I'm driving, it's closer to 60. If she's driving, it's like around middle 50s.
Okay. It looks autumn in the background, like you took this in the fall time or
Yeah, we took this picture. It was in a trip we took up to Maine or Massachusetts, somewhere up there. And this was like thinking, this might have been in Vermont. We pulled over and there was a lake over in this area over here. And we stopped,
Mom,
took a
the
picture.
crib's always doing cool things. Why can't we do cool things?
I don't know. You
Like
could.
going to Maine on a whim. Go to
Yeah, we went
Maine.
up. Yeah, we went up to see what was it, LL Bean, I think, up there.
What's that? What's LL Bean? Sound like a rapper.
It is. It is. It's that's a they do a lot of back in the day outfitter stuff.
Oh,
What
okay.
was it? Yeah, they're known for their boots and
Hmm.
outdoor wear, I guess. Uh,
Man, that's awesome.
stuff. But
That's awesome. Maine, right?
I
After
think
the day.
we actually did the start. I think it's the start of the northern part of the Appalachian Trail. We walked on that
Hmm.
for a little while.
Hmm.
Um, just went and seen the sites. Went to a couple local. We it wasn't like, I don't know if it was an Airbnb or something that we stayed like in a house or something. So
Name five cities in Maine. One
in
million
Maine,
dollars. Yeah.
Kennebunkport, Bangor. Um,
Time has expired.
yeah, I'm trying to
Ah,
think. I because we were more, we were more like around Boston and stuff like that in Massachusetts.
gotcha. Hey, you named one city we landed in when
Bangor.
we Bangor. Yeah, when after the war was over. Oh my God. Let me say this, listeners to the Graybeard guys. The most patriotic people I ever met in my life was the Bangorians, right? Them
Yeah.
suckers, we had to land up there. These dudes was waiting. I don't know what flight we were coming out of the desert. But they was there. They had the little flags. They had the little dolls with chocolate chip uniforms. Man, they gave
Oh
us.
yeah.
I felt like a hero, man. These
You
mugs
you
ladies
weren't.
was letting us sign their arms and their legs and stuff like that. Put your name here with a permanent marker or some marker of some sort.
Well, you have
I
to
was
give
like,
them a little. You have to give the folks a little more context. But
yeah,
you got to tell them that this was because you were there because Iraq invaded and killed a bunch of Kuwaitis.
that's what was the event,
Yeah,
and we spread liberty and justice across the globe, across the region.
yeah,
We liberated,
a country
uh, yeah,
from
Kuwait
tyranny.
from
Hmm.
tyranny. That's what America does. So these mothers was like, yeah, they was jumping up and down as that plane, and one of the chief master sergeant. Matter of fact, it was Chief Anderson. He was my chief. He was my a flight chief when I was in England. That sucker was there. He was at Bangor. And he came out there and he was like, the people want to see you guys. So
Mm.
you're going to be allowed to deboard the aircraft. This is highly unusual because you're just here to refuel, but you guys gonna
Well,
you're
usually
gonna
when
get out.
they're, we had to do the same thing. We had to, I don't know, were we in Bangor? I don't know. I can't remember.
We landed in Bangor. I'll never forget it. I was like,
We
wow.
we landed up. I want to say we ended up diverting to like Nova somewhere. I want to say Nova Scotia or somewhere up in that
Hmm.
region. Could have been
Hmm.
Bangor, but we had to get off the plane, and it was a tiny little airport. It was cool, but it was tiny. But we were all like,
Hmm.
we would just want to go home. And this one guy that I was riding on the plane with was drinking. We used to get these little bottles. They were just like little bottles of wine with your meal. And I don't
Yeah.
drink wine per se. And I was like,
Hmm.
here you go, you can have mine. And we ended up getting off the plane. He hit the bar in the airport. I think there was something. He got back on that plane and we're all packed in there. I mean, we're just, and he's
Hmm.
sick because he's drinking alcohol. Like he never had a drink of alcohol in his life. And he ended up throwing up in a little bag. And I'm like, great. I got how many more hours of flying time to deal with this drunk, you know?
Think about 9 months of being virtually alcohol free. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Virtually alcohol free. And
yeah.
now you just drank a liter of wine. So yeah, it might be some complications with that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, most of us didn't have any alcohol and who knows how long,
Hmm.
we were at. But,
There were some guys making it where I was at. They
oh,
they
yeah.
they worked in the chow hall and they would take some of the vegetables and some of the yeast and different things. And they would bury this stuff, man. I don't know how you make wine, but they made it. And some kind of way it made it to my tent. And I sampled the wares just because the rebellious nature in me. I was like, it's
Mm,
pretty good, you know.
yeah.
I could have got Article 15. Anything I should
Yeah.
I need a ticker going across the
Because
screen. This this could be a
luckily,
war story.
yeah, luckily
These
it
events
was,
may or may not have happened.
yeah. Well, the statute of limitations is up on that, I'm sure.
You think so? You
Hmm.
think it's over with? Hey man, UCMJ's everywhere.
Now,
It's in Salta.
some of your troops that are going, oh my, because they're so disillusioned right now that Mr. Goody Two Shoes there is.
He drank wine in the
He
desert
broke the
against the
rules.
he
He's not
broke
a
the
rule follower.
oh he can never be president.
Hmm. Oh, it would come back. It would come back and haunt you at some point, I'm sure.
Who's watching this episode of Gray Bears and you divulged that
Yeah. Well, apparently at our age, it's good, to get into politics. You could run in, another 20 years and.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm good right now. I
Hmm.
should be. He
Yeah.
can't remember stuff. He's 7 second earning. He shouldn't be for president.
It's 8 seconds.
I see. That's case in point.
Yeah.
I've evolved.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah, man. You said you wanted to talk about something about
yeah, I was gonna say the elephant in the room, right? For you
mm, yeah,
in your 2022 GMC Sierra or 23.
mm,
No, it's a 22.
22. It's a
Yeah,
22.
GMC
Hmm.
Sierra. The air conditioning started acting up last
Yeah,
week or so,
it
whenever it
worked
was.
intermittently.
Yeah, it would work
Yeah,
intermittently.
yeah. That's what it
And
was doing.
you did the right thing, in my opinion. You took it to
Hmm.
a dealership that I have gone to and had many items repaired or replaced on our vehicle.
Hmm.
And you took it to them, and just to find, you told them, "Hey, what's wrong with this thing? I need to know what's blah blah blah."
Yeah, it said, "Hey, for $159, we'll tell you what's wrong with it."
Well, it's
Great, 150
$150. It ended up costing
plus
you
tax.
Yeah.
Gas was $163 by the time the smoke cleared. hmm And so they told me, it was like, Mr. Sharp, someone put too much antifreeze, not antifreeze, but Freon in your unit, and it caused it to malfunction. So what we did was we let some out and we got it to the right levels, and you should be fine. Hmm. Was I fine? You probably surmise no, because we're doing the show.
I know. Well, the thing
So
is like, did they actually do a proper diagnostic of that
the
vehicle?
world may never know.
That world will never know.
I got this sheet with these numbers on it, and it
Hmm.
indicated that they did. Mr. Sharp, there's no additional cost to you, sir. You know, your vehicle is running fine. Glad we could help. I was overjoyed at the news.
Yep, you were
You know,
doing.
it could have been worse. They said it could have been worse. Well, how worse could it be?
Mhm.
It could have it could have broke the seals. It could have caused your compressor not to compress, and it could have been a lot more expensive. So I drove off happy. I got halfway home. I was like, did I accidentally hit the heat button? What? No, the AC was on and it was blowing hot air.
Hmm. It
Immediately,
did for, but it would go cool for a little bit, and then it would go hot.
yeah, and then it dwindled down. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I immediately called them back, and they was like, it was kind of like an investigation. Like, Mr. Sharp, you left here at this time, and you're calling us at this time. Why the delay? What? What? Look, bro. Well, first 15 minutes of that delay was, I can't believe this is happening to me. You know what I'm saying? It did work for about 15 miles,
Hmm.
you know? And so they denied any culpability. You know what I'm saying? We're not to blame. Who serviced your AC? No one, sir. Well, don't just grow Freon. Somebody put it in there. Well, sir, I big spotlight was on me. Can y'all see the spotlight? That light right there was on me. And so I was like, well, I take it to Elgin Lugoff, whatever. They put too much in there. Called them. They told me how to be conniving, how to get the truth out of them. Asked them, when was the last service to your AC done? Because you want to get it done, you might want to get it checked down. So
Hmm.
I entered into their subtlety. And they were like, Mr. Sharp, we've never done anything to your AC. We've only done your scheduled maintenance, sir. So I
Hmm.
relayed that information to brand X. And so they was like, well, bring it in, bring it back in. We'll set you up. And they did. And they told me, yeah, your compressor is not compressing. There was some damage, apparently. We didn't miss it. We missed it doing the diagnostics.
Yeah.
And
So
it's gonna
then
cost, actually, it cost me $1,700 and something dollars, but they
they
gave
took.
me a 10% discount on parts.
Mhm. Did you look and see if
So
they actually put a new compressor
that
on
wasn't the painful part. The painful part was going to Wayne and telling him what I just told y'all, just to hear him say, I told you that was bull crap.
it? I
That
don't
was the
recall
painful
I
part.
don't recall saying
Now,
that.
this is what happened. Whatever you said, when it processed through my mind, that's how it came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were right, Wayne. For the record, great bidders, I've said that a lot, okay? Especially with vehicle matters. Because I'm kind of rebellious, right? You don't know everything. All I got to do is pour this in my transmission. He was like, nope, that's not going to work, Shark. And it worked for
For
about 4 days. And then all of a sudden, it started acting up. But I'm an honest man. I went to Wayne. I let him know I didn't try to dodge any hits. You were right. It doesn't work. Yeah, I spent 200 and something dollars in that thing. But anyway, go ahead, Wayne. Tell me what I should have done if I did anything I shouldn't have done.
Well, I will tell you,
Hmm.
I feel somewhat responsible.
It's America, man. Well, go ahead.
I feel somewhat responsible because I told you that that dealership, I've always gone there. I've never had any issues with them. I think they're a very good um, dealership. In my experience I've ever had with them, they were always up front. They weren't the cheapest, but they were as bad as everybody says that dealership's going to be whatever, right?
Hmm.
But take your situation and you go there and they do, in my opinion, a half-assed job at diagnosing the issue with your vehicle. I feel that they did not give your vehicle the attention that it should have when based on the customer complaint, right? An intermittent cooling system, is that typically synonymous with the um, AC compressor? Maybe the clutch, maybe, but typically, in my experience, it's something else in this that's causing an intermittent issue with the cool and hot and cool and hot, cool and hot. Because I experienced it myself, and it ended up being a blend door, right?
Well,
And
a
those that
lot
don't know,
less expensive.
yeah, well, in a sense, it is depends on the vehicle. Some of them are very hard to get to, and it requires a lot of labor to get to change the little motor that produces the blend door.
Hmm.
And personally, I think all those automatic HVAC systems in vehicles are problematic. You could, most people, oh, I've never had a problem with it. Well, you're one of the lucky ones, you know, because they rely on so many components to do the climate control. And anytime you add more components, sensors, doors, whatever, increases your chance of failure. And it's you people want this convenience. I don't have to worry about it. I set it, I want it at 72 degrees in the car, and it automatically does it for you. You don't have to do anything. It'll keep, if the car ain't 72, it's going to do whatever the system needs to do to make it 72 degrees in the car, whether it's add heat, add cool, whatever. Now, I had a question I was going to ask you. Did your cooling seats not work?
No, they work. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Where was that compressed air coming from?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's a good question. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it works.
It always raises that flag in the back of my head going, I don't know if they actually, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, right? Um, yeah, I don't know. Just, I had to,
So my bottom line is that vehicle came from the manufacturer just like that. It was just a matter of time before the bomb went off. So now, if you're listening to me, what agency can I go
well, I would
to
call, I personally, I would, if I was me, if it was me, I would go right to contact GMC or GM customer service and say, hey, my AC compressor failed at 50 some thousand miles. I've had this vehicle for not quite three
Sir, you're
years.
out of warranty, sir. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not the problem. The problem is, if it failed, I can eat that. Okay, because I'm over. But the problem is this: there was too much Freon in it. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
that it just failed. So that's a real issue with them, not me. Okay, I get
Mm-hmm.
it. You got me. 50,000 miles, 51. You no longer have any coverage, bro. But
Yeah,
you put too much Freon in this vehicle.
yeah. Well, that's what, and that, I mean, if it's anything, if anything, will they do anything about it? Give you refund your money or give cover it under
It should.
a warranty?
On every episode of
They
Gray Bear is gonna,
should because they at the manufacturer put too much Freon in the system. This is
or
what the
when,
dealer told you, right? Can you
yeah,
trust
that's,
that? I don't know. You know,
well, it's unfortunate for them. It's on paper. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We,
Uh, and that's, I mean, the burden of proof is on you as the owner, right? Well, I see that, yeah. But the thing is that the burden of proof, meaning that this vehicle, I've only taken it to this dealership for services, and they said they never touched the AC. This dealership is telling me there was too much Freon in the system. That to me is a factory way it came. I don't know what happened from the time it was built to the time I received it. If anybody, it was brand new. I don't know how many miles was on it, but when you bought it,
fix.
it had 6 miles on it, right?
Hmm.
So, and that's 6 miles from the when it was built to the time you owned it. You cannot personally account for that. You trust in the fact that they assembled it and did everything correctly. So,
Facts. Hook me up to a lie detector test.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. So Wayne, what you got for the listeners out there? What
Well,
advice?
I wanted to I was going to put a picture of the Dodge Caliber up here, but I didn't. The Dodge
Yeah.
is back. Those that have
Well,
seen my drive time that I did posted yesterday, I finally got the Dodge back after 10 and a half, almost 11 months of it sitting at
wow.
the local dealership here where I live. And it was really so long story short, I got it. I talked to I'd go and check with the dealer like every month or so. Hey, any word? And they're like, no, the transmission's still on back order. I'm like, I mean, any reasonable person, right, would know, okay, no problem. Now, keep in mind, this vehicle has a lifetime powertrain warranty. So basically, the engine and transmission are covered for as long as I own it, which is great. This now has its third transmission from counting the original one that came with it in this vehicle. It has 200 and well, we'll say 230,000 miles on
So
it. And it's well, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of miles on a little car, but um the motor or the engine in it works flawlessly. I have never had any issues with it. Knock on some wood here. Um, and if I do, I take it back to the dealer and say the motor's making funny noises, and they'll under warranty they'll have to replace it.
Wayne, what I'm thinking is this. See, I think you have a lot of success because of your demeanor. Not only because you can have a contract like that, and then the representative be like, well, lifetime is generally 10 to 15 years. See, you have a certain demeanor, and I think a lot of consumers don't have that demeanor. They don't really know how to approach it. They could have sold you some BS. Lifetime means this. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying? But you're like, they know that this guy's not going away. That guy right there. He's not going away. He's not going to be, he wants this lifetime thing. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's the only reason I bought it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think the sticker price on that car was like 18 grand when I bought it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Most folks are like, I don't want the hassle. I'm tired of arguing with this guy. Let's
mm,
take it to the junkyard, but not Wayne. Nope. You said lifetime.
well,
As long as I own the car.
if I would have thought I would have put a picture of it up. Um,
Next show.
Next show,
Yeah.
I'll have it on the background. I'll make a point to put it on
Yeah.
the
Do
background.
that.
But it's a good little car. I did have to charge the AC in it. It's got a leak somewhere. But, after what, 17, it's actually 17 years I've had that car. And it's
Don't sell it.
it's definitely time. The AC I'm going to have to do some work on it. And I'll do the work
Yeah.
because it's worth it. It's, down here and it's a black car. And down here,
It's
yeah.
hot. Hmm.
Now,
Yeah, man.
the wife and I were going to give that car to my nephew
I'm glad you
because
did.
he needed a vehicle, and we just have way too many. It's getting very difficult for me to keep up with all the maintenance and all the,
Yeah. That's what they was helping. That's what they was hoping for. Oh, he need to give it to his nephew.
yeah,
Free us. You got him, man. I like it. Keep the
yeah.
freaking tweezers.
I but it's good. It's apparent to me that the farther down the road, it's going to be difficult to get timely repairs under warranty with that car.
Oh,
17 years. For one, I can't even get certain things for it. They don't even
you
have
shouldn't
parts
have
for it.
said lifetime.
I agree. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't have sold that car to you.
Mhm.
If they'd have sold it to me, that'd have been fine. You know what I'm saying? Because,
Well,
but they sold it to Wayne. You know what I'm saying? They were like, look,
yeah.
we're never gonna
Well,
sell.
the wife and I had a discussion. I said, well, I think I'm just going to sell it. And I did put it out there. If someone really wanted it, they
Hmm.
actually needed it. Um,
Hmm.
I would, I looked at what the price was for these cars, right? What they're going for. They're going for like 22 to 3 grand, right? Depending. This is a very
Your car?
basic, huh?
Your car? The Dodge?
Yeah.
Dang,
But most of them, and I ain't saying this car is perfect. It ain't. It's got stuff
I
that I need
get
to
it.
address, but
Don't sell it. Just lease that mug. You know what
just
I'm saying? It's
rent it out,
mine. Yeah,
rent it
it's
out.
mine.
No,
I
you
want to
can't.
just see how long.
Technically you can't do that because you would violate the warranty, right? Because then it becomes a
Okay.
commercial vehicle. So,
Well, just drive it to work every day. How about that?
well, that's what I'm going to do until it don't, right? Um,
Okay. But what can go wrong? That powertrain and engine is never gonna break. When
well,
I tell you what, you keep it to your 70, all right?
keep it to another 10 years.
Another 10 years, right? I just
Yeah.
want to see it because I'm mad at these darn dealerships or what's it called? These
Uh,
auto manufacturers. They got me. And I
they
need
well they
somebody
got
out there to represent.
dude, they got everybody. They have everybody. So they make a vehicle typically to last till the warranty's
36
up.
months.
Yeah, 3 years, 36,000 miles. Anything after that, just like I know a lot of people that we know, you and I both know, they were buying these cars that have a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty, and that's why they bought it because they want that warranty. But they have stuff that ain't covered under that warranty. It goes bad before that, and then they end up getting rid of it. But that's the reason they bought it initially.
Yeah.
Um, I swear people want to change, and I can relate because I like new stuff as much as the next guy, right? So I'm always buying stuff that needs work, and I'll fix it, drive it for a little while. It fills that niche that I have to something new, right? New vehicle, something different. Getting my car back after 10, I was so elated to get that car back. It's like I spent most of the day yesterday cleaning it out. It ain't perfectly clean like some of those detailing shops, but it's clean.
Hmm.
And one other thing, I'll give a shout out to the dealer. When they did get the transmission, they put it in, and it was in like in 2 days, and the car was done. They called me and said, "Hey, your car's done." And I was like, "What?" I knew the transmission got there on the 29th. they called me on the 30th. Yeah, the 30th or the first, one of those days, and say, "Hey, your car is done." And I was like, "What? You didn't?" They didn't even call me and say, "Hey, we got your transmission. We should have it done in a couple of days." They just put a priority, boom, and then to them, to my surprise, they put a brand new battery in and didn't charge me, didn't want any money for it. As the time of this show is being done, it was, I just went in, they handed me the key and said, "Thank you very much and sorry for the delay." And I walked out the door, got in the car and drove
10 months
home.
later.
After 10 and a half months. Yeah.
Yeah. But nevertheless,
But I don't
they
fault
did
the
it.
dealer, right? I don't think the dealer was at fault here. I think it was just the system that Dodge has getting the products out there. They're the ones that determine to put a warranty on it, to cover it under warranty. The transmission has to come from a certain vendor, supplier, or whatever, right? They can't just go
Mr.
down to Advance and get a Advance Auto or AutoZone or O'Reilly's, whatever, Napa, and get a transmission sent to them for it to be covered under that lifetime warranty. It has to come from, and it has a sticker on it with a serial number.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure it's a rebuilt transmission, but I looked at it. That sucker looks brand spanking new. I mean, you know me, I looked at everything. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like that nosy neighbor going, "What's the new guy got over there?" But they did a pretty good
Awesome.
job putting it in. Everything looks good. The car drives and better than it has ever. It's like gives you that I'm renewed. He's back on the
Mhm.
road.
Yeah.
But
Been resurrected.
yeah,
No pun intended.
we got about 7 minutes. We had another discussion earlier. We always talk on the phone before we start the show because we never do a lot of pre planning of what we're going to talk about. And we were discussing the what were we talking about? Was it the what was going on in the world, right?
Yeah, that's what I led with. What's going on this planet?
What's going on in this planet? And I
Man,
told well my point of view was you now know because the trust that we had growing up with old Walter Cronkite that we probably never watched very often anyways because it was came on so late and we were young. We could trust, at least I did anyways, that I was getting the truth. This is actually what's going on. This is, we weren't getting a, at least we thought anyways, a skewed view politically or whatever term. We could trust that, yep, this plane went down and killed everybody. We knew that to be true, right? What had happened. But now it comes down to, oh, the plane was defective because of whatever parts, were made poorly, blah, 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 whatever, which is more detail. But now they want to give you these details of, based on political beliefs, right? Instead of just giving the true, what it is going on. In my opinion, they put a political spin, whether it's good or bad, whatever side you're on, left or right, whatever side.
this guy, the pilot that was flying this plane, was a sponsor of Special K. And for you guys don't know what Special K is, Special K is a cereal that was brought about in the 70s that to help
Yeah,
women lose weight. So,
yeah.
so we just need to let you guys need to know that this
Let,
guy
let, let,
sponsored
yeah.
Special K.
I
What
mean,
the heck, man?
I want to know about atrocities going on in the world if someone's doing, but I don't want, this just like they're calling the current president a fascist and a Nazi or he's racist with no real evidence to support that, right?
Right.
They are stuck on that narrative. And if it's
Mhm.
true, it's true. Give me some proof that this is actual, not your how you feel because you woke up this morning. This is what you feel.
Hmm.
Um, Now, granted, some of the stuff that the president says can be construed, it's not very sensitive. It's like his sensitivity. I can relate because I don't have a sensitivity monitor. I'll say
Yeah.
stuff and everybody else, oh, well, it's the
He
truth.
actually said that.
Yeah,
He said it. He said what was happening.
yeah.
We gotta. Well, I'm gonna put some sugar on a lot of stuff that I say. Make it
Mhm.
more palatable. Okay. What I'm saying? My mom used to do that when I was a kid. That's probably how I grew up like that. She said, when she was feeding me this Gerber's baby food, right?
Mhm.
And one of them would be if carrots or peas, right? She said I would lick my tongue out and taste it with the tip of my tongue. And if it didn't taste right, I
Yeah.
wouldn't open my mouth. So she said she got smart. She put applesauce on the end of the spoon. So when I licked my tongue out, and it tasted sweet. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh. And
yeah.
I take it, but I have this weird look on. It's like something is wrong with this applesauce.
There's something wrong.
Hilarious. Mom, you did a great job. So
Yeah.
that might be why I put sugar on stuff to make it more palatable. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you the truth, but I'm going to tell you the truth in a way that I feel you can handle it. I used to do this little thing at work, right? I would do this here. Wayne would get a kick out of it. I'd stick that
Oh my
bottle
God. Yeah.
right up in your mouth.
Yeah.
You go ahead and drink. You see it, Wayne? This is my baby.
Yeah, I
It may
see it.
look
Yeah.
like
That would be it. We would be like, um,
this may be more appropriate right here.
yeah.
How about this? And this is from my good buddy Kyle. How about that, Kyle? Hey, little baby. There you go. You didn't win the Super Bowl. How about next year?
Yeah. It is what it is, right? And that's
It
the
is
thing,
what it
right?
is.
It's like, I don't, you would think people would be happy and they are, but you wouldn't know it, that he's finding all this fraud, waste, and abuse and spending in the U.S. tax dollars,
Mhm.
you know, because
Yeah,
they're all up in
yeah,
arms that all these people are getting let. He's cutting the government, and they're like afraid that he's cutting, these programs that we were told were good for us, right? Hence the sugary substance at the end of the beginning of the spoon to
exactly.
hide all the, corruption and excessive spending, you know.
Hmm.
So we
Yeah,
got
there
a
was a
little
lot
over.
of.
So let me know what you think in the comments down below, folks. Do you think that excessive spending cuts how is that affecting you? I'm sure it's affecting some that have government jobs, but it,
Yeah,
I think it's necessary to make us more financially secure, and I'm all about that. I want to be financially secure, just like everybody else, right?
yeah,
It makes sense. But we got
yeah.
like a minute. We are closing arguments there, Ernie. What do you think?
Hey, man. Hey, do your own homework, folks. You know what I'm saying? That's my advice. I think that's the summation of our whole show today, from my car to his car to the government
Yeah.
to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Doge. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Do your research.
Do your own
Don't
research. Do your
just depend.
own. Don't just take that. Everybody that that slick car salesman. But on that
Yeah,
note, I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for
same thing.
watching, family, friends, and fellow subscribers out there. If you think about it, hit the subscribe button, share. If you like the content, let us know what you think, and we'll catch you on the next one. God bless.
God bless.